Hey, everybody, welcome to our show. I'm so excited today because we have a very interesting topic that affects nearly everybody. Um, Before we get started, I'm Kaz. I am the founder of WOCA, and my co-hosts Sharita and Sonia. And our special guest is Sabrina. She's a fabulous 50-year-old fit human being who she's been through a lot, and she's here to kind of get us on track for a healthy and fit lifestyle. She's a mom, she's a medical professional, she is a wife, and now a bodybuilder, which is very interesting. We'll learn about that in just a second. But first, before we jump into all of that, just describe to us the journey into this new fitness arena that you're in?
Well, like I've always said, that's always a long story. I'll keep it short. But fitness has always been kind of a journey for me anyway, just because I grew up as a dancer and I went into the military. And then I did get hurt in the military. So I really had to build my way back up from being injured. And there I go marrying this athlete. And then we have children who are extreme athletes. And in that process, I lose my mother in 2005. And then I lose my father in 2008. And then I lose my dad in 2018. So now I'm in this mindset of who am I, and trying to pull myself out of depression constantly. And that's been a very, very difficult process. And somehow or another, I learned how to put my own oxygen mask on first and begin to remember who I am and begin to pray and stop listening to that voice trying to keep me in the depression and start listening to the voice that I know that I'm supposed to be listening to. Yeah. And with that, I ended up getting into a wellness company in 2015. And they had some really, really neat products. And for some reason, I just started feeling better. And I felt like I wanted to work out, and I felt like I wanted to do, other things, even though my husband and my kids, were keeping me busy. I was just kind of going through the motions, really. And there was a young lady in this company, and she was a bodybuilder. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Because I've always done, a lot of different things. So I was like, that's pretty cool. And I started kind of, reading a little bit about it and following her, and, social media starting to get really big back then. So I really started following what she was doing. And I said, I'm going to get a trainer. So I get with this lady trainer, and she was awesome. I got with her in July of 2016. And August 2016, I said, I think I want to compete. And she was like, okay, well, let's go ahead and, start prepping. We'll look at next year and see where you are. And I'm like, no, I want to compete like December.
It's like, what?
But I mean, she doesn't really know me like that. And I'm like, she's like, you can't do it like that. And I'm like, well, I have to. When I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. So let's do it and see what happens, So in 4.5 months, I lost 40 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, 40 pounds. And it was one of the best things I've done in my life for myself. And it was crazy. It was amazing. It was all of the things. And it was just one of those things that put me back in the mindset of, you know what, you can do anything you put your mind to. You know, people say that and, you know, whatever all the time, but you have to know it for yourself in order for it to make sense. And so in that process, I really became closer to God. So, and a lot of people look at bodybuilding, you know, when you're on the outside looking in, you're just like, oh, so, you know, doing that is just crazy. But for me, and I had to really think about this, bodybuilding is like when people fast, right? It's you know, you really have to have a certain mindset to fast and be one with God and, you know, those kind of things. And bodybuilding does that for me, because there's no way you can take your body to that level without having a different kind of focus, right? um and what you're doing it for, and why. And when I'm in prep, I can hear God telling me, you know, you are stronger than you think you are. Shut those voices off and listen to what I'm telling you. Stay focused, stay grounded, head down, stay grounded in everything you're doing right now. And it's so loud. And it's become my ministry. And literally all the ladies around you, all the ladies around me will tell you that it's one of the things that I talk about all the time. And I've convinced one of my other girlfriends to do it now. And she's like, I didn't realize I would feel like this. Like, it's really, it really takes you to a different area in your mind to be able to focus that hard, because it's difficult.
It's a lot of discipline.
It's a lot of discipline, a lot of discipline. It's not just being motivated and all of that stuff. I mean, it is discipline and consistency to get your body to change like that. And it happens almost every day. Like, there's a difference in your body every single day. So I've enjoyed it. Honestly, it's a sport, and it's a it's a way of life. I mean, it just is. So
I have a question, Sabrina. Number one, so we have a little something in common, but I ventured into bodybuilding in my 20s.
Okay.
I was chasing a man to the gym.
Whatever gets you there.
Whatever works.
You work out, I work out.
Exactly. Sounds right.
But it was I definitely did, for a period of time. I was really obsessed with it. I'm talking the muscle and fitness magazines and everything, posing and you know, it was, but I was in my 20s. And so if I'm doing the math, I know that you're, I'm sorry. I was like, what the heck happened? I kind of darkened out there. So we know that you're
50.
You're 50. So so you were in your 40s, which is very different from being in your 20s.
Absolutely.
You also said that you lost 40 pounds in 4 months. And so, you know, I've also lost 40 pounds, 37 and a half in not this time, y'all don't not now. Back when it's these are things that are that we take for granted when we're in our 20s, 30s. I mean, please speak about how in your 40s you lost 40 pounds in such a short period of time. And I know that we're all metabolically different. And so you obviously have some lovely set of genetics over there. But talk about what you did to accomplish that. And also, like, bodybuilding, like what audacity, what made you think, because you had 40 pounds to lose. Now you said it. What made you think that you could go against the trainer and say, no, not next year, now? That was a 2-part question, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm somewhat competitive, so I always have been. So I think that And like I said, she didn't know me. She's just, I'm a client. And she's like, well, people say they want to do things until it's time to do it. But I know me. And when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it at 150%. It's no different than what I tell my kids. If you're going to do it, let's do it. Don't do it half, but you know what I mean? So I even till this day, my doctor still asks me, about menopausal symptoms and, all of these things. And she's like, whatever you're doing right now is keeping it at bay. So keep it up.
Oh,
so
you don't have menopausal symptoms?
I do
No,
not.
it's that part.
I do
and
not.
that's, yes,
But I also,
keep it at bay.
yeah. And, your stress causes your body not to perform the way it's supposed to. So you got to be careful with your adrenal glands and your cortisol and, getting sleep and all of those things, to make sure that your body is going to respond the way it's supposed to. I was drinking a gallon of water a day. Water is important.
I'm sure.
Water is important.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
Water is important. Even closer to show day, it's closer to a gallon and a half. And I have, and recently I've had my trainer where he'll do 2 gallons, and then you start pulling your water down. So it's a lot of water, a lot of food. People think that bodybuilders don't eat. We eat all the time. So every 2.5, 3 hours, I'm eating, because your body, when you don't eat, it goes into starvation mode, because your organs and stuff, they're gonna get their food whether you feed or not. So when you don't feed, it holds that fat because it has to survive. So it's like, well, I know she ain't gonna feed me until like 5, so I gotta hold on to this, because I don't know when I'm going to eat again.
Yeah.
But when you eat, your body releases that. And it's good for, diabetes and cardiac patients, all of those things. Eating is very important. So, and of course, eating the right things, I don't really get a cheat day. I mean, I do now because I don't plan on hitting the stage anytime soon. But for the most part, during prep is between 12 to 16 weeks, right? So you figure in the beginning of those weeks, you might get 1 day a week to cheat. Meal, not day.
No.
Please
One
clarify,
meal.
because we have that twisted.
Yeah.
We think Friday
there is a difference. There's
The
a
whole day.
meal,
Yes.
not day.
Yeah.
And so what was a cheat meal for you?
Pizza.
Okay.
I like pizza. Me and pizza
I can
are
see that.
friends. So
I'm
And-
sorry. I cannot get past the fact that you don't have menopausal symptoms. Like,
I don't. I mean, I'm cranky, but who isn't? But
yeah.
but no.
So
I don't-
so does a doctor, like, I don't think I've heard a doctor say that, being physically fit will eliminate your symptoms or keep them at bay.
I wouldn't say it eliminates it, but I would say that keeping your body balanced will help with anything, right? So it's the balancing of nutrition that helps with
I think it's
anything.
It's
Yeah.
such a like a catch-22. Like at this age or stage in our lives, it's harder to lose weight. So then you're off balance already.
Right.
So it's just
That's
a struggle.
Right. Yeah, it's a tumbling effect.
Constantly.
Yeah.
Definitely. And even with the menopausal, opportunity, nah, I'm not going. I am not.
Yeah.
I am horrible at working out. I am. It's just never been in my wheelhouse. I'll starve before I go out. Before I work out.
So I'll stop.
It's terrible, but it's
I think that that's not the message we're trying to send.
I know it, but I'm keeping it real. I'm
Yeah.
Keeping it real.
Yeah.
And this is probably not very healthy.
But I'm sure a whole bunch of people can relate.
No,
I'm sure
yes,
a whole bunch
yes.
of people can
I
relate
am
to
the
that.
reality over here, but it's
Yes.
not. It's something that I wish I did have more discipline with. I really do.
However, you do try to stay active.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm very active.
So there is a difference, because some
Yeah.
people just want to lay in the bed, and
18
that's not
holes is
okay.
exercise. 18 holes
Yeah.
is exercise.
Well, that's
It
true.
is.
That's
Yeah,
It is.
so it's not like you're not doing anything. And I think, you have to, you have to put it in context.
Right.
You're not like,
Yeah.
you're not just lying on the bed and eating.
Right.
Eating bonbons. No
Yeah.
bonbons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes a huge difference. So.
But I think it's very interesting that you staved off menopause, because as so many of us know, particularly I think a lot of women of a certain age can relate to the yo-yo of it all.
Mhm.
Like I
Right.
know, like people in my friend group, I mean, we almost go through weight gain and weight loss at the same time. I can go back and look at photos where we're all fat as hell, and then we all go. Then we say we're gonna, January 1st, the resolution of it all. We're gonna like go and we're gonna get ourselves fit. And then the summer, we're having our fabulous, life in the summer, and we're looking good. And then we try to keep it up, and then 2 years later, we're at it. We're back up the scale again. Then what happens with doing that is then you kind of take it for granted. You think, oh, I put on 30 pounds, I put on 40 pounds, now I put 50 pounds, 50 pounds, 60 pounds. You're thinking now it's like, but menopause has entered the room.
Yeah.
And I personally, because I have journals that I've had from like the 90s, and so a weight loss journey has always been part of my life, whether I'm in my 120s pound range, 130s, or whatever. At every stage in weight, I always thought I was overweight, or I was always needing to lose weight. But when menopause enters the room, it becomes like almost like debilitating. So, it's like I literally can look at my food journal, because I do write down everything I eat.
Oh,
And
wow.
I know what you're going to be thinking, but I'm going to cut you off there, Sabrina. I can be eating under 1,000 calories, which I know, and sometimes I can be eating 780 calories, which I know everybody says is low, but let me tell you, when menopause enters the room, for me, if I eat what that calculator tells me that I'm supposed to eat at my age and weight, which is something like between like minimum 14 to 16 or 1,700 calories to lose a pound a week, I will gain a pound a day. So that is the reality for a lot of people in menopause. And now I've discovered that no matter how little I eat, I will not lose weight unless I sweat. So it's not even walking, leisure walking. I can't lose weight until I sweat. So I think if there's a takeaway for people, you've said something extremely valuable. If you don't have a weight issue right now, and you're fit, the one thing you can do is not quit at this stage. Like you literally, because I think you just like unlocked the door that we never even knew about. If you are going at it, the fact that your level of fitness can stave off menopause, even if that, not everything works for everybody, but even for those that are in your category of people, I think that's so key. But okay.
But I think that's why I don't, because some people are like, oh, well, I work out 3 times a week, or 4 times a week or whatever. I go every day. I do something.
7 days?
I do something every day for different reasons. One, I do notice a difference when I don't work out. Like I'm
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I'm cranky, you know, so arthritis does run in my family. That's probably one of the only things I can say that really runs in my family is arthritis. So I do notice when I'm not moving, I can feel little things like in my hips or whatever. So movement is very important for people with arthritis. And my gym has a great sauna, so I try to go to sauna.
Yes.
Definitely once a day, but whenever I'm there, I end with the sauna and I try and stretch in the sauna.
Yes.
So it makes a big difference. You know, just dealing with the arthritis side of things that I have to deal with. So, but movement is very important. Whatever that is, you know, the old saying was 30 minutes a day keeps the doctor away. I mean, it's true. I mean, whatever that 30 minutes is, you know, it doesn't have to be anything strenuous, but you need to have some type of movement every day. Period.
And it's back to what you said about the oxygen mask. And then you just like really made it easy for people. 30 minutes a day, you know, like
everybody has 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Everybody has an hour. I had patients, you know, the difficult part was patient teaching because I'm a cardiac nurse. So patient teaching just begins to get very difficult. And, you know, people just want the drug. They don't really want to know how they can actually fix the problem, you know. And, you know, our patients are getting younger and younger, you know, people in their 30s, 20s, 40s are dying. I mean, we're dying a lot faster these days. You know, there's 24 hours in a day. So, which is why I'm at the gym at 5. Like, there's no excuse. I am busy all day and in the evening, almost all weekends. You know, my kids have me running left and right. So I'm at the gym at 5 because that's the time that I have. And on my way there, I pray. I can meditate, get my mind clear. That's my time. And I enjoy that moment. And, you know, and then I can go into the hustle and bustle the rest of the day. But especially as moms, you know, we just have to take that moment for ourselves in order to be good for everybody else, you know.
That's true. That's really true. What time do you go to bed? Because if you get up at 5, I want to know what time you go to bed.
So I have a bedtime alarm that goes off at 9:30. So, and that is to tell Sabrina to stop doing whatever it is you're doing and start getting ready for bed. So most of the time, unless I'm just exhausted, if I am exhausted, I will go to bed at 9:30. But most of the time it's 10:30, closer to 11. Which gives me right at about 6 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
So, but you need to get at least 7 or 8 hours of sleep. So
do you sleep well?
I knock out when I sleep. Yeah,
that's
really, really well.
I'm going to tell you, menopause is really having mercy on you because that is awesome.
Yeah, I don't sleep well at all.
You're not getting up to go to the bathroom 5 times or waking up every 2 hours is really, really,
because that's what happens.
I do try CBD gummies at night too.
Yeah,
those are the best.
Yeah. And you get a nice even sleep. You don't wake up all groggy. I don't like that.
It doesn't make you go to sleep. It just relaxes you. It
just
relaxes and but even still, even without it, I sleep really well.
So what is your advice for for women who don't necessarily have that active lifestyle and are starting from scratch at this age?
Definitely your food. Your food, whatever it is you're putting in your mouth, you have to get a hold of what you're eating. And the easiest way to do that is to prep. I mean, you can use these companies that'll prep for you, but most of them are very high in sodium. So unless you know somebody locally, or if they can vamp the way they actually cook the food, or if it's not coming, with preserves of how they're freezing it, then that's okay. But the best thing is to learn how to cook your food yourself, and get you some Bantu boxes from Amazon, which has the 3 compartments. Pick like a Sunday or a Saturday or whatever, and just prep for the week and put it in the freezer. So, but control your salt, high protein, pick you some vegetables that you like, and a good starch, and stay away from too much fruit. Berries are the best fruit. Everything else is very high. It's very high in carbs.
Sugar.
Yeah, the sugar, sugar, carbs, like strawberries, berries, blueberries. Yeah, blueberries, strawberries are the best.
Yep.
I'm eating watermelon in watermelon season, though. I mean, that's can't help myself. But you know what, Sabrina, I want to know: do you actually enjoy your food? Because what I have discovered is, for me, and for coming from like Southern roots, where food is like the center of everything, and even like people, I have a lot of Latin friends, and people that are in diverse cultures. Food is very important, but I've almost I feel like I have to just eat for nutrition and not for enjoyment. I have to get over the fact that something doesn't taste good, or that something doesn't have, like, my vegetables aren't swimming in butter and whatever. It's just like I have to eat just for the sake of.
No, there's so many new seasoning companies out now that you can enjoy your food. And even my friend Tammy, she has really, because she's the same way. She's like, it has to be pretty. I have to enjoy it. And she has come up with a way to really prep her food, and she'll take a picture. I was like, you need to start a book, because this looks amazing. Like, I don't really care that much, but she really puts effort into prepping her food. But Mrs. Dash, all of Mrs. Dash's flavors are very, very good.
No salt.
Tabitha Brown has a new salt-free seasoning it's real bright and colorful, kind of like curry. But I've realized
you're talking about Tab and Chance. Okay.
Yes. She has a good seasoning. There's several companies out that have really good salt-free seasonings.
I just
and the air fryer is your friend.
I love the air fryer.
The air fryer is your friend. You can have white rice. You can have sweet potatoes. You don't need to put butter and all the junk in the sweet potato. It's perfectly fine the way it is. So there is ways to enjoy your food.
Food has always been like a celebration time. Like, if every time you celebrate, what do? You have food.
That's your cheat meal.
You just celebrate every day. Like, I feel like crap. I want to go get me something to eat.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm ready to celebrate. I want to get something to eat.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's
change the mindset.
And then,
but that's your cheat meal.
When you have people who,
not every day.
I think Kat celebrates every day.
Every day. Not every day.
When you have people who are around you who don't necessarily eat like that, like they're constantly eating all the deliciousness that you want, like that pizza that looks so good over there, or that baked potato with lots of butter and cheese and sour cream,
bacon,
and a big
loaded.
Bacon. So how, it's hard to maneuver when other people around you don't have that same need to eat healthy, or even a desire to eat healthy.
How do you prep your food with an entire family? I mean, do you prep your food separately from them? They eat totally different?
I have to.
Yes. Yeah. I'll make a big pot of spaghetti, and that's what they eat.
That's what I do.
Yeah, I'll make chicken tacos.
Yeah.
And that's what they eat. My husband has started, to really get on the bandwagon with, eating the prep food. So that helps. But salmon, I love, 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 love salmon. So I could eat salmon every day. But
that's my meal today.
Yeah, most people aren't going to just eat that every day. So
I do too. But do you season it different so that it doesn't taste the same every time you make it?
Yeah.
You
A
have
lot of
different
times,
seasonings.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can do curry salmon. Oh my God, jerk salmon. There's we actually even the kiddo loves salmon. We do love salmon. But it really is. I find that well, actually, I don't find it's actually, I think it's true that once you adopt a eating style, like your body rejects, if you adopt it long enough, your body rejects
Absolutely
the old
the
stuff.
bad stuff. And so it's funny you mentioned sweet potato. I think Kaz made a face. I can't eat candied yams. I just can't. There's something about, and if we're doing like Thanksgiving or something, my mother tells me, and don't try to skimp. It's holiday. Put all the sugar in there.
Ooh.
And my mother's like this, and put all the butter. And no, because I'm like, why do you need that? A sweet potato is already sweet.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, and I used to love it like that, the yams, but now if you go without them, you find when it's on there, you can barely tolerate it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get that way with salt though. You know, and I recognize that chicken broth, chicken bouillon is not a substitute for salt because it's still sodium, right?
No, it's huge in sodium.
Yeah.
I know, Sabrina, but it's so good.
But it's so good, and it seems like it's healthy, even if it's not. It seems like better than butter.
Better, well, I don't know.
No,
I don't know about that.
Maybe
Maybe
not
olive
healthier?
oil. Olive oil.
Yeah,
Olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil.
Yeah.
You can put that on your salmon too.
Well, Sabrina, you said that you lost 40 pounds.
Yes.
I've known you for a very long time, and I've never known you to be 40 pounds.
I didn't know I had 40 pounds to lose either. I didn't.
So we've got some pictures of you before. Are these the pictures that you were 40 pounds overweight?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Oh, wow.
It didn't come out. You're
And the
missing
only
the bottom
thing it
part.
looks different is her little cheeks. I mean,
Right.
really don't look like, it should
Well,
be.
she's not showing those hips. There you go. There it
there
is,
you
right
go.
there.
Yeah, that's different. Oh, wait, Sabrina, I don't remember them pictures.
Yeah.
Wow. I guess you've been in fit so long, in your later years that that's all I remember. Wow.
There we go.
That's it. Wow.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. Amazing.
And then for bodybuilding, for your muscles to really pop at a competition, you really, I mean, like I can't even imagine being, and I'm not going to ask you what your body fat is. I'm not going to ask you none of that.
It's under 10%. Yeah.
So that is aspirational, but that is like, you might as well go out and play lotto. You have a better chance.
Well, not right now. It's not. You can't sustain under 10% body fat. I mean, that's just a competition. That's a stage, and that's it.
Competition weight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's fair to say that you really didn't have 40 pounds to lose. You had 40 pounds to get competition ready.
Yeah.
You needed to lose that amount. Now, is there a difference in your competition weight where you need to lose a certain amount of weight for your competition, but then when you're not in competition, like now you say you're going to go, this is not the season. So now you might put on a couple of pounds, 5 or 10 pounds, and you're comfortable with that.
Yes. And it's always more than 5 or 10 pounds because that's water.
Yes.
Once I start, because you're completely depleted when you hit the stage. So, and this last time when I won, I was actually 115.
Oh, wow.
I haven't been 116 since the 8th grade.
Yeah. And I was trying to think of when the time I was 115. And right now I'm 135. So 130.
I haven't been 135 since 33.
Yeah, 130 really is a happy weight for me.
What is? I'm sorry.
130 is really a happy weight for me. But it also comes back on differently now because now it's on top of muscle. So it's, yeah, it just looks different. So
Does it look
um
better? Are you happy?
yeah,
Happier? Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because I mean, it's
Because
It's
it's
sitting up
toned.
there.
It's toned. It's not just
it's
flabby.
yeah, it's toned, and I get my boobies back a little bit, and
Yeah.
the booty
Yeah.
is sitting where it needs to. So yeah.
And that's
Well,
good stuff.
I think a lot of us, we have different goals. We have different, like, I don't necessarily want to be a bodybuilder.
Right.
I do need to lose weight, but I think my number one goal is to be healthy.
Yeah.
Like all of
Yeah.
these unexplained issues, like I have been having this migraine for 2 weeks now.
Mhm.
And a lot of little things that are happening to me. And, of course, I go to Google, Dr. Google, and it's like, oh, you need to stop eating this. Oh, you need to stop doing that. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
why are these foods affecting me this way? So, like, my
Because they're
goal.
putting a lot of crap in our food.
Yeah.
There's so much crap in the food.
I mean, you almost have to grow your own garden.
Yep.
Yeah. But sugar, just reduce your sugar for right now and see if the headaches go away. The headache and
And
salt.
artificial sweeteners, if you're into them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So that's
Absolutely.
my goal. Like, and so I really wanted to put out there a challenge for women of a certain age, especially
Yeah.
those people who kind of follow us or just interested in what we're doing. Maybe a challenge of examining your life and figuring out what it is you want
Yeah.
going forward. Like, do you want to have that like popping figure? Do you want to be healthy? Do you want to have more energy? So
All
whatever
the
that
above.
is,
Well,
we're looking to Sabrina as the expert to kind of help us start that journey, depending
I,
on what it is we want to do. So
I think the other part you have to ask yourself, especially since we're women of a certain age, is I just want to be able to go to the bathroom by myself when I get older. Give
oh
myself a
yeah.
bath, stand
Yeah.
up, be able to, enjoy my grandchildren. Like there are certain things that people take for granted,
Yeah.
and some of these people, they have a peel box. They have, all these things. They can't even take care of themselves in their elderly years because of the choices they made right now. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So you have
Yeah.
to think about that part too. Like we're not getting younger, and your body mass, your muscle mass decreases the older you get. So at some
Yeah.
point, like what if you end up in a wheelchair? Like some people can't even get themselves out of the wheelchair just because they have no upper body strength at all. Like,
That's true.
it's just certain things that, we have to really think about. That I mean, you don't want to think about it, but it's, we have to think about that. So
Yeah.
Sabrina, when you started, you said you had a trainer. Did you have to go? Did you have to join a gym, or were you already a member of a gym?
I was already a member at 24 Hour Fitness, but she had a gym with my first trainer. And the second trainer I had was actually in California. So he would send me my meal plans and send me my workouts, and I'd do them on my own. I was at Lifetime Fitness at that point. And then the trainer that I have now, he will come to Lifetime Fitness and send the workouts and meal plans and things like that. So
Is all of your working out, is it all strength training? I know as we get older, that's the one thing I hear all the time. You should eat
yeah,
better, and strength training is poor because of our muscle mass.
yeah. But muscle burns fat.
Right.
So right, which is why it's easier for men to lose weight than it is women, because they have more
More muscle.
muscle than we
Right.
do. So
Right.
and the stigma of if I lift weights, I don't want to look like a man.
Mhm.
Please stop saying that.
Yeah.
You cannot look like a man unless that's how you want to look. So it's not going to happen, or unless you're taking buttloads amounts of steroids and testosterone. So it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But it's my husband used to tell me that years ago. Well, you got to lift weights. I'm like, I don't want to lift weights. But eventually I learned that, okay, I have to lift weights. So now I'm addicted to it. But cardio is very important,
Ooh,
for different heart health, Sharita.
I know. I need to work on my heart. I know. How long is your average workout?
Maybe about an hour
5
and a half.
a.m.
Yeah, about an hour and a half. About an hour.
Hour and a half. Wow.
Ooh.
And that most of that comes from the cardio too. So, but yeah, it's about, and I cut it short sometimes, just depending on what's going on in the day. With me that day, I may not have an hour and a half. You know, I might only have an hour or 45 minutes. So, but normally, if that's the case, I will go back in the evening and finish up, or get my extra cardio in at night, just to finish it out. So,
and what's a quick cardio routine for you?
45, 45 minutes on the Stairmaster.
No jump rope, no.
Yeah, I'll jump rope. I'll jump rope for
burpees.
5 minutes. I don't like to do burpees unless I'm in a class. If I'm in a class and we're doing burpees, then I'll do burpees. But I don't just do them because,
yeah. My knees ain't gonna have it. So
yeah.
You don't have those Megan knees?
No, ma'am.
Well, they do say walking on an incline.
Yeah.
For 30 minutes. 30 minutes on an incline is supposed to be a really powerful workout. I'll try.
Now I've had to move that to because I love running, but running doesn't love me. So I do incline. So I'll either be on a 10 or 12 incline walk with my booty bands on. So just to give it some extra resistance. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to get me some booty bands. So Sabrina, give us some tips on how we can all start our wellness journey. If you can just give us like
so main thing is mindset. Everything you do starts up here, period. It starts up here. Once you say, okay, you know what, we're going to do this. We got to figure out how to do it, figure out what your why is, get it in your head. And that's where it's going to start. The other thing for me is praying and journaling. Just because, I mean, if you're a believer in the Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ, whatever it is you believe in, find your strength from somewhere and pray and journal and, write your feelings out, get all those things out to help reduce your stress, because most of us aren't doing things because we're stressed out or we're depressed or, we have anxiety or, there's just so much going on right now. You gotta pray and journal.
And it's so bad right now. My anxiety is, when I was in Vegas last weekend, y'all, I thought I was going to freak out. It was I was like, somebody's going to kill me. It's like, I have got to get that out of my head. That's too much social media, too much TV. And it is a lot.
Mm-hmm. It is. And the praying and journaling will help with the mindset. So it's, it all starts up here and then your body will follow. It doesn't go the other way. You don't start doing all this stuff and then get your mind. It has to start up here and then everything will trickle down to put you in the right path to get you there, period. It just is what it is. And then start setting your goals, Okay, well, and start off small. Let me start off with, 15 minutes a day. Okay, I can do that. That's easy. Okay, now 30 minutes a day. Well, you know what? That's not so bad. Let's try an hour and see how it goes, because I like I said, I don't agree with the 3 days a week just because everything gets in the way. And now your 3 days is turning into 2. Now you're, I can't do it this week. I'll start next week. You know what I mean? Just find that small amount of time every day. And you might be able to do more on certain days, but find a small amount of time every day.
That's key. You really, because I was really conflicted with whether I was going to get on board with that or not. But that's key because I was thinking, if somebody commits to 3 days a week, then that's more than they did last week, which was no days a week. But you are so right. Like you should really show up for yourself every day, like every single day. And if it's just 15 minutes, if you can set the bar well, not the bar. You can set the time low
Mm-hmm.
every day. But I
Mm-hmm.
guarantee you, if you say I'm gonna go for 15 minutes, you're gonna end up going for 20. You're
Right.
gonna
Yeah.
end up going for you're gonna give yourself once you're there. But yeah, like I really do. I think, and as women too, we sell ourselves short. Like, why give
Mm-hmm.
yourself 3 days a week when you give everybody else 7?
That's
Absolutely.
true.
Why
Yeah.
would you? What are you giving yourself 3 days for?
Yep.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
ahead, girl. Finish telling us what you do.
I will say this real quick too, just for moms that have, smaller kids or your kids are in sports or whatever. One thing I did start doing was when the boys were in football, I'm like, that's a track.
Work
So
out
I don't
there. I
need
have
to,
girlfriends
yeah, I don't
doing
need
that now.
to watch
Yep.
them practice. So I would start walking around the track. So
Good.
I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Yes.
Or Zoe was in a stroller at that time. So I'm pushing her in a stroller. Like, we don't need to sit and eat bonbons and,
Yes.
there's so many excuses, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
There's a lot of excuses that
Yeah.
people come up with. And then diet, set a day to meal prep. We talked about that. If the food is prepped, you'll eat it normally. When the food is not prepped, it's like, oh, okay, let me order a pizza. I don't feel like
Anything out
doing
there in the
this. I don't,
street.
yeah.
My
Let
problem
me get
is
a,
I'd probably eat through half of my meal prep and wouldn't see nothing left.
Oh,
Like, oh, that looks good. I'm gonna try that one. Oh, let's try that one.
oh my
you can make it really good. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
you can make it really, really good. Yes.
So maybe we could share some recipes on our Facebook group.
That's a
Yeah,
good idea.
I had one friend, she just, oh, I can't. I said, okay, we're gonna go to the grocery store. So we went to the grocery store. I helped her pick out her food. I went back to her house, helped her prep all of her food, put it in the freezer, and I was like, now eat it. Like, just do it.
Yeah.
Just take the time to do it.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
just have to do it, period.
I
That's
agree.
true. That's true.
Yeah. And then, 5 is just exercise. I mean, just find something that you like. Like there's an app, and I don't know what it's called, but I think you could probably Google 7-minute workout.
Mm.
Yeah. There's an actual app for different kinds of 7-minute workouts, whether that be jump rope or jumping jacks or just stretching. Just a good Pilates stretch is very good for you.
Yeah.
Yoga,
Yeah.
all those different things. It doesn't have to be anything crazy like what I'm doing. It's just, it's just find what works for you,
Yeah.
And move.
and move your
And
body.
move.
Yeah.
And move.
One thing I will say too is that my mother-in-law, who's 92 years old now, or almost 92, told me years ago, she said, a body in motion will stay in motion. A body at rest will stay at rest. And that stuck with me
Wow.
forever. I was like, that is so true.
Wow.
It is.
Because
Yeah.
once you get in the bed and subject yourself to that depression and anxiety, it is so hard
Get out
to
of it.
pull yourself out of that sunken place.
Yep.
It
Yeah.
is
Really.
very, very hard.
It really is.
So, yeah. So a lot of time you hear people say, check on your strong friends. Those are the ones you need to check on because we have figured out how to
Mask it
put
very well.
one foot. I tell people I put one foot in front of the other.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
I put one foot in front of the other every day. I figure out how to put one foot in front of the other.
And I think having our family kind of is a blessing too, because you've got to, I mean, you've got to take care of your kids. You got to take care of your husband. And even if you're just going through the motions, people know how to mask that,
Right.
and make it look like everything's great. And if
Yeah.
you're used to depression and anxiety, you can master it. People will never know. They will never know.
Yeah. That's why I
I
tell
think,
it.
too,
For me, it's mind, body, and spirit. Mind, body, spirit. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask the hard question. So, what about alcohol?
I mean, look at why you look back.
Cass,
Now you know good and well nobody's gonna tell you that it's okay.
Let me just go ahead and put it out there because I'm waiting. Everybody's skirting around it. Let me ask.
I mean, it's just like with anything in moderation. That's your cheat meal. It's just high in sugar.
Yeah.
It just is.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
I mean, we
That's
all
good.
like a good
Yes,
cocktail, you know. We all.
Yeah.
But
do,
tequila
you know,
is agave. Isn't agave good?
It's
Okay.
sugar.
it's all in moderation.
Yes.
You
Thank
gotta
you.
limit. You gotta limit yourself.
Yes.
You can ask the question 52 different ways.
And it's gonna be the same. Discipline, discipline. What is it? Portions, smaller portions, and discipline.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Okay.
true.
Well,
Okay.
thank you, Sabrina. That was
Yes,
that was
fabulous.
very enlightening.
It's
We really
very,
appreciate
very
it.
real. Yeah, it's
And this
very
is
real.
very needed. Like
Good.
I personally am feeling it. Like I just, these unexplained pains and just exhaustion and brain fog. I know a lot of it's,
Oh, yeah, brain
menopause. Like it's just a lot. Like this is
Yeah.
a very crazy time in our lives. And so I like to be in control of things. And so I feel like this part of my life I can at least control. If
Mhm.
I get my diet under control,
Mhm.
get my weight under control, you know what I mean? So I think
Mhm.
that I'm ready to take on this challenge. And I hope that some of this stuff will make a big difference in a lot of other people as well. So
Yeah.
are you ladies
I
going to
think
join
we
me,
will.
Sharita and Sonia, with our new little challenge?
Well, I'd like to hear this challenge first before
I
I
love a
commit to
challenge.
anything. What
I
is the challenge?
love a challenge.
Well, the challenge is just to get healthy, be healthier, work out, get moving, go to the gym, do something every single day.
But I think that if it's a real challenge, it really has to be defined. And then it really has to be something that it can't be too broad. It
Yeah.
has to be really, it's like almost like starting small. So I know y'all know I've done this challenge for the last 2 months with my work. We've done a step and an activity challenge
Okay.
where we use our Apple watches to see
Mhm.
who's done the most steps each day, and then at the end of the week and the end of the month or whatever, blah blah blah, or who's logged the most activity, spin classes and things like that.
Mhm.
And this has really been rewarding for me. I feel like I failed at this challenge because I too am very competitive. When I realized the first week, I was like smoking it. I was just out there stepping just for, I said to my husband, if I walk too far, if I go too far, you might have to come and pick me up. I'll be 10 miles. I walk 10 miles in the one direction. I might not be able to make it home. But then when I was doing that and it was too much, right? And then I was doing all of that, and then I realized I wasn't gonna win because I wasn't gonna beat this one person who was more competitive than me, and I kind of said I'm never going to beat him. So I kind of gave up.
You let it
Gave up.
deflate you.
Which is really, that's so not cool. But anyway, and he and I would and by the way, I just want to say the difference between men and women. By the way, this guy, so we've been on this challenge 2 months. It ends next week. This guy has lost 60 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, there should be.
You can't
And I'm
compete
saying
with
something,
men.
You
and
can't
all
compete
he
with men.
does
I
is
know.
walk.
You
All he
That's not
does
fair.
is walk around these
Yeah.
New York City streets.
No.
And
Yeah.
he says he gives himself, and this is another reason. I don't even know why I was, competing with him. He says, I allow myself 1 cheat per day. I said, what do you mean? What do you mean per week? Per what? He said, no, per day. He allows himself 1 cheat per day. And he means like a big plate of rice. He's Latin. He like a big plate of rice for lunch, all the.
That's not even normal.
Yes. And but I also have to say that he's still young. He's young, he's a man. So you got to put it all into perspective. But
Yeah.
when he and I did talk, I said, I have to say, I said, I'm less winded. I feel like I never actually thought I was gonna ever jog again. I started jogging, and I felt good. my hips, my knees stop hurting. But and this is what I think that, the other thing is you can't allow yourself to stop, because I kind of slacked off the last 2 weeks and my knees are just like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I'm feeling like the knee, I'm feeling the hip, I'm feeling a little
Yeah.
achy. I get out of bed and I'm like, ugh. And I'm like, wow, that came back already. It's like you have to commit to it. You can't stop. So for the challenge, I want to say it can't be the same for everybody. You can't tell everybody that the goal is to get 10,000 steps.
Yeah.
Whoever does 10,000 steps or better. That's generally around 5 miles. But not everybody is going to walk 5 miles. I have a cousin, by the way, God bless her, who she's losing a lot of weight, and she said she walks a mile. She's been walking a mile a day. For her, that is a lot, and it is paying off. So whatever the challenge is, I think it just has to be that we commit to increasing our activity and being accountable for increasing your activity, and eating well, and being accountable for eating well.
Yeah,
Like
that's probably what happened with you guys, because you guys held each other accountable, which is awesome, because you feel like you're in a team or a group setting, but
it works. So I need a new challenge at this point. So I'm all in, because this one's about to end.
Right.
Okay.
That's great. That's great.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good. I think that we can definitely have a challenge of increasing our activity, showing our food that we're eating now. I don't really know about having to create rules around a challenge. I mean, it's not that critical. No. But I think it's like more about holding each other accountable, supporting each other, and just putting it out there. This is what I've done. And then, go girl. Yes. You keep going,
Yes.
Yeah.
So Sabrina,
that's the main thing too, is the support. The support system is huge. And I do like that women are doing a lot better about supporting each other lately. So I think the older we get,
it's important.
It's important, and it's getting a lot better, honestly. But but the same thing, just committing to working out or whatever your activity is for 30 minutes a day. If it's more than that, great. But at minimum, 30 minutes a day, prepping your food, give yourself a cheat meal a week. If you want 2 cheat meals, pick your day. Like, okay, Friday and Sunday are my cheat days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you also have to remember too that when you exercise, your cheat meals are a lot better. So, because you're burning, you're burning that off. So that's why I know if I'm okay, I can actually cheat tonight because I did this. You know what I mean? So it's like a reward. But yes, I would think committing at least to 30 minutes minimum. So that means more golf for you, Sharita.
Look, girl, I get my steps in, honey. They don't be playing over here. They work me. So I know I do.
That means more golf for you.
Now we'll just document it. So everybody can just, see what you're doing, and then we can support each other and cheer each other on and hold each other accountable. I think that's the biggest, for me anyway. It tends to work because I know people are watching. Especially if I have pizza, like that's not a good thing. So but I'm ready. I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to change. I'm ready to get on board. Not necessarily looking like Sabrina, but
close as I can get.
Close as I can get.
Close as I can get.
All right. Well, thank you, Sabrina, for joining us.
You're welcome.
Really
thank you. It's awesome.
And please be please comment on our WOCA Style Facebook and let us know what we're doing right. Let us know what we're doing wrong. And we really look forward to you dropping some gems on our group, because that's where we can share some tips. And you've really given us a lot to think about today. And so some of these things we'll also put there on Facebook. So again, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend. Goodbye.
Bye. See you guys.